Hey guys, this is Devin and this is Barefoot Props. Today, actually tonight, it's actually very late at night. I couldn't sleep, so I thought I'd come out here and make a YouTube video and show you what I just built. So today I'm going to show you how to make a roll down large screen. Personally, I've made this for me to have a green screen, and I'm going to show you all about that coming up. Into this, I just wanted to pop back up to the front of the video, which to me it's the end of the video, but to y'all I guess you'll see this at the front of the video, so it doesn't matter. But anyhow, I'm gonna have a giveaway. There's gonna be a giveaway that's gonna happen we'll say on the end of February. All right, and so the end of February we're gonna give away, and it's gonna be a 3D print of Baby Yoda. It's gonna be probably 11 inches tall. It's an articulating Baby Yoda. I'm currently working on cleaning up a 3D print right now. So this will be the size of his head. So it's a cute little head. I know it looks spooky because there's no eyeballs in there, but I'm modifying this so that I can cast it in silicone and make this for myself for personal cosplay. Not trying to rip off Disney, because Disney will hunt you down and bury you in a grave that nobody will ever find you. So I'm not selling Disney stuff, because I asked and they said no. So anyhow, so what I am doing though is I'm going to give away a raw print. And so if you don't know what a raw print, that's just right off the machine, so you have to clean up some print lines. I use filler primer, put several coats on there and wet sand it and get it all slickened up, and then you can paint it and do all the decorations and dress that cute little Baby Yoda up. So I'm going to give a full 11-inch tall, articulating, once you bolt it all together, Baby Yoda. If you leave a comment in my videos or you subscribe between now and the end of February. And so that's just going to be a gift for thanks for doing this. Thanks for subscribing. I'm going to hopefully have some more of these giveaways in the future. So make sure you always comment my videos, because I'll just add you into a hat and then hopefully you'll win something. Alright guys, so I know it's been a long time since I made a video. I've been working on a lot of stuff, and I'm just going to kind of pan around here a little bit so you can see. Actually, my shop now has wood walls. Everything's been insulated in completely and closed in with some wood walls and stuff, so I really needed that because I was having some trouble with climate control out here. So mostly tonight I want to show you that thing right up there. So what that is that's my green screen. Now, I've had a green screen for a while. It used to be this big clunky thing that I had on poles coming up there, and I just got some galvanized, 1-inch galvanized conduit and made some elbows and some T's at the bottom and just had a straight pole across. I think my screen's 10 foot by like 14 foot. So 10 foot wide by like 14 foot long, maybe a little bit longer than that. And I honestly think I got it for like 14 bucks on Amazon. So it was not expensive to get a big screen. And I guess you can hang it up a lot of ways. And like say, for a long time, I would just had it hanging up and we would have it back there. And I think in some of the videos it's been there because we'll be standing in front of it. But it's always in my way. It was blocking my door. My little Bucky would get behind it and play and be tugging on it and tangled up in it and everything else. So when I made these nice wood walls, I say nice, they're OSB, but it's really nice in here now. So nice to me, wood walls for a shop. I decided I needed to upgrade the screen. I watched several videos online and some other things people made, and there were some issues with every one that I saw that I felt like could use some improvement. I mean, there's some pretty cool motorized ones and stuff like that, but the average person, whether you want to make a little simple movie screen, some sheets or something to hang down, or you want to have a green screen yourself, or even something a little bit more complex like backdrops for photo shoots and stuff. And so I'm going to just show you real quick. If you see right over here, there's a cable that goes up there. Actually, it's a little plastic chain. Could be a little heavier duty, but that's what it is, and it hooks off right there. And I'm just going to roll this thing down real quick. So there we go. So now I have a green screen. Now I probably should have ironed this thing, and I'm gonna probably play around with it a little bit. Maybe in some of these shots I'll put up some backdrops and stuff, but let me pull it up just a little bit higher so I'll have the weight on the bottom. So there we go. So now I've got this green screen behind me here, probably a little high up, and I don't have any extra lighting on it. I don't have anything fancy going on in the background right now to kind of make it smoothed out or anything like that. It's just purely hanging off the weight from the roller up top here and a bar that's through the bottom loop of it there. So it pulls it pretty straight. And like I say, those creases are creases that are in there from when it was shipped and folded, and I've never ironed it. So probably you could pull it down and iron it, and that would take care of a lot of that. But most of the time it doesn't matter, especially if you got a little light on it. So I do use a little, sometimes when I'm doing this, I'll put a couple of extra lights just so there's not any shadow. But actually, most of the time that's not even necessary. You can kind of clean it up some in the editing software, and it works pretty good, even if it's got a little bit of variation in it. So I'm going to go over what the parts are and what I made it with and why it's different in this tutorial versus like other people's tutorial. I was actually hoping they would have the name on the box here, what these things are, but I'll put the link to where I purchased this. It's an Amazon product, and essentially what it's meant for is photography, for backdrops. They're little rollers that, this right here, that go into the end of a piece of a pole, and then as you screw this in, they expand and get wider and actually kind of grab a hold of the inside of the pole. So it's actually pretty handy. It's all plastic except for the rod in the center. So it comes with one that's like this that has the gear for the chain on it, and then it comes with one like this, and I think around 39 bucks or $32 or so, somewhere around there. I'll list it. Don't worry, I'll put it in there in the section below. But it was like 39 bucks to get one, or like 54 bucks to get 3 sets. And so when I got the sets, I ended up getting a set that would hold 3 different rolls. And sorry if you can't really just see super well. I can probably try to zoom in on that and post credits there when I'm making the video. But so if you get the one that's got 3, then I have extras of these in case I broke one, because they're just plastic, and this stuff is kind of heavy. So it comes with 2 of these, you know, one of each side, one with the chain, one just kind of to control the roll speed and all that stuff. And it comes with this little cheap plastic chain, which was plenty long enough to hang from my ceiling, and my ceiling is like about 11 foot there where they're hooked on. So the ceiling's about 11 foot high where they're hooked on there. So it was plenty long enough. I even shortened it some so it wasn't hanging down too low. So in a normal home, or even 9 foot, 8 foot ceiling, if you have one of these up close to the top of the ceiling, it would do just fine. So if you were a blogger or something like that, and you wanted to be able to roll it down behind you while you're talking, kind of like I am now, and have stuff going on behind you, the computer stuff or anything else, that'd be great. You could roll it down, get it up so your wife doesn't fuss at you, or if your husband doesn't fuss at you, vice versa, or your significant other doesn't fuss at you. I'm really not sure if I'm hitting all the politically correct things, but I'm trying. A+ for trying. So anyhow, back to what we were talking about. There is one problem with this though. This thing requires a 2-inch internal diameter pipe. So this is where I had an issue with this, because a lot of people are using PVC pipe, and they'll use a 2-inch PVC pipe. The problem is with 2-inch PVC pipe is that it's flexible. It's not rigid, and it's not even recommended. Anything, especially a span as long as I am. If you're just spanning like 6 foot or something like that, maybe it'd be fine. But if you're going 10 foot, you're going to get some sag. And if you get sag, you're going to have wrinkles, worse than the wrinkles I got behind me right now. Again, I promise I'll iron it sometime, maybe. in the future. So what I figured out is that this little tip here, this part here, the inside part, showing you way too close. This part right here, the inside part, is less than 2 inches in diameter. It's probably about 1 3/4 inches in diameter. And so if I was smart, I would have unscrewed this ahead of time, so I would have been ahead of the game. But you can unscrew this end cap here, take all this stuff off. This part here will fit inside of 1.5 inch tubing. So if you get something you can find, which is what I'm using, is 1.5 inch galvanized conduit at Home Depot or Lowe's, or probably Ace Hardware, wherever you're local. 1.5 inch galvanized conduit is typically easy to find, I would say, and even in foreign countries, I would imagine it's easy to find. And so it'll be in your electrical section, not your plumbing section. Anyhow, so if you get 1.5 inches, this portion will fit in just fine, just not this little portion right here. So, and I'll go back and trim this down, but what I did is I just cut off, you know, I took this thing out to my bandsaw and I cut off like a little section all the way around. And I'll film me doing that real quick on this in just a second. But I cut off this little band all the way around and I sanded it on a sander. I imagine you could just use a Dremel and just kind of hack around to it. And it needs to come down on this part right here, you know, in about 1/4 inch down, maybe. Not even probably that far, but it doesn't affect its function at all, because really all it's there for is to spread this stuff apart anyhow. It's there to, even with it smaller, it still can spread this apart plenty. You can see that. And all you're needing to get it up to is 1.5 inch internal diameter galvanized conduit. You don't even have to trim the opposite side, because this part right here can set outside the pole. So when you stick it back in there, you know, this will just butt up to the edge of the pole like right here, and not even, you know, it won't matter. It'll do its job. It'll spread this thing out. All you have to do is trim this one other side. And so when I was purchasing these on Amazon, there was a lot of reviews about how they sent these back, or they couldn't use them, and they got some bad reviews because it doesn't fit any type of pipe. And so I imagine it's just not everybody can find, because if you're getting, you can find 2 inch internal diameter galvanized conduit, but it's like heavy industrial grade, and so it'd weigh entirely too much. Relatively speaking, the 1.5 inch, the thinner conduit, is fairly light for a 10-foot section. Definitely light enough to do what I was doing with this up here. So we'll trim this one down and the other one down and get it ready, because I'm going to go ahead and buy me another pole, because if I want to put another, I may put a white screen up just so I can have backdrop for photos or Photoshop or anything like that. But I'm going to trim this down and get this ready to go, and we'll get back. And you'll just have to excuse my PJs. It's late. I'm going to use my bandsaw to take off the majority of the material here, just because it's quicker. Now, it doesn't have to be a bandsaw. It doesn't even have to be that precise. So, like I say, you can take off this material just with a Dremel, just to be a little neater, and because it, you know, I don't want to bust anything too much inside here. It doesn't hurt to just take this thing down to about right through there all the way around. Take my sander and just kind of smooth it out some. So I'm going to do that real quick and kind of let you see that. My cheapo Harbor Freight sander, the capacitor's bad on it, so I got to give it a little push start. So just ignore my dangerous behavior. All Alright, so there you have it. Just a matter of seconds. Got both of these cleaned up, ready to go back in. Okay guys, so now that we've got this cleaned up, we've got that end of the thing shrunk down a little bit so it'll fit. So you just basically slide that back down through here. Put that piece back on. And screw the little handle back on the end. So there you go. You've now have made a modification that makes this usable for a standard 1.5 inch conduit at Home Depot that runs about 14 bucks. So it drastically decreases the overall cost of this. So if you just got one set of these, I think you're probably running between $30 to $35 depending on who you buy them from. A set of 3 sets is just like 54 bucks for the wall mount ones or ceiling mount ones. So I spent the extra 20 bucks and just got extras in case I broke one doing this stuff. You do need to be careful when you're ordering these. They do come with mounts for pole stands first, and then they come with mounts for wall or ceiling mounts. So the wall ceiling mounts are the same type, so it's made in a way so no matter whether you put it on a wall or ceiling, it'll work. I think in the home setting or in your shop or whatever for YouTube videos or whatever, I would recommend definitely doing the wall mount or ceiling mount, just because it's a lot more stable. And the whole idea of getting the thing rolled up is to get it out of your way. Plus, you know, out here I cut a lot of wood and I make stuff all the time, and so it gets dirty, and you can, you know, tell how much I've cleaned it. So just when you order it, make sure you get which one you want. All right, so now that I'm on top of this ladder, I do want to say one other thing. It is not, the company that makes these actually recommends using aluminum or steel poles, thinnest wall possible. They have not, I did not see anything where they recommended using PVC pipe. So it's not their, I guess, their issue. It's just, I think a lot of people have trouble finding 2-inch internal diameter pipe, and so that's one of the cheaper ones in what you can actually find. And I had the same problem. I couldn't find any lightweight 2-inch internal diameter pipe, so that's why we're doing this whole thing to make it fit into a 1.5 inch. And so, and you want that because of how straight it makes it. And so if you look across through here now, having that steel pipe makes all the difference, and there's no sag in the center. Everything looks really good. So here's the part we were talking about. So the part we did not trim went up about right here. This is the chain mechanism that runs over the sprocket here to pull this thing up and down. You do want this to be in the horizontal position. So if you mount it in the wall, it'll go into this slot. If you mount it on the ceiling, it'll go into that slot. And by turning this knob here, that's what expands the part that goes through the center here to hold this thing solid. But I mean, it's nice and solid here. And you know, I actually have 3 different slots to hang these because I bought the set that comes with 3 different sets. So it comes with 6 of the, I guess, pole plugs, I guess, for whatever you'd like to call them. And so all I did was run the chain down to the wall, and I just put a hook down there that I can hook it on to hold it stable once it's up. All right, so just for completion's sake, this is what the opposite side looks like. So this part right here, it can be unscrewed and this can be slid back and forth. So if I had mounted those and it needed to be right here, it would have been fine. All right guys, I'm just gonna pull this thing back up. Isn't that so nice? That's just really nice. It's actually a pretty cool little thing. Of course, I already had the screen, but let's say $14 for the green screen, $14, $15. So let's say $30 for the pole and the green screen. Another $30 or so, $35 if you just got one set and the wall mounts. So $65 for a 10-foot by 14, 15-ish foot green screen setup. Sounds pretty dang good to me. Next video, probably because I really need it, I'm gonna make a paint booth. Also, I need something I can do a little bit of rattle can work with on small items and just to airbrush in and pull out those fumes and stuff. So I'll be making a paint booth. I'll be working on that for the next video. I'm just trying to get all my shop stuff, and then we'll get back to doing some cosplay build. Again, guys, thanks for watching. Please stay tuned for more stuff. Hope you like this video. Hopefully it helps. I think it's definitely helped me. So see you later.